Hey, what's up? What's up? Good morning, everybody. TZ Talk here for another lesson. Today, I get this question a lot. So, today we are going to be discussing how I find stocks that I plan on like scalping or swing trading or potentially even day trading if I have available day trades. So this is one of the methods that I use. I use a very simple strategy, which I'll be releasing a little bit more about that later. But what I look for initially are gaps. My mentor always talked to me about gaps, gap and goes. There are different types of gaps, but here I'll just kind of show you the process into how I find those gaps. So first, I start off here at barchart.com. It is a platform that allows us to screen different stocks under different parameters. So I like to come over here first, over to stocks. Then I'll come down here to performance leaders, and I click on gap up and gap down. So normally, like I'm a bullish trader. So I typically stay in the gap up tab. But if you guys are, bearish traders, some contrarians or whatnot, and you like to scalp the market that way, they also have a tab for gap down. So as soon as this loads, all right, cool, cool, cool. So some of the simple parameters just off the strength is volume. The first thing I want to look at is volume because I want to make sure that the ticker is liquid enough so that if I do want to scalp it or day trade it, I can get in and get out without any issues of either getting my stops limits blown past or just not having any interest in the market for this ticker symbol. So first and foremost, I like to look at how much volume it is. Then, of course, I want to see how much is gapped up because a lot of times we will have missed the boat in a lot of instances. And two, I like to really take advantage of this at the very beginning of the morning. So that's one of the things as well. So I like to look for these gaps, and that's a little bit more advanced. But normally within the first 15 minutes is really when I'm trying to take advantage of some of this because we're really just taking advantage of the volume, any news that came out overnight, um, any big plays in the morning that can shift because a lot of the professional investors are going to come on early in the morning. The institutional investors, their honey hole, so to speak, is normally from opening bell 9:30 to somewhere around 11 or 11:30. Then they kind of take their lunch breaks or whatever, go do whatever they do for the rest of the day, and then you get more so the retail traders that come in from that midday point all the way up until about 3 o'clock, 3:30, and then you'll see a lot of times volume spike back up because the institutional buyers are back in, the big boys, the whales, so to speak. So just that little tidbit. So once again, let's say, all right, I like VVPR here. They got good volume. I think they might have options. So that's what I'll do next is I'll come over and I don't have my broker pulled up, but I'll check on, my broker, let's say with my cell phone right now. And I know y'all can't see this because I do not have it pulled up on the screen. So for that, I apologize. But we type in VVPR and I go over to their options chain and they don't have options. So now me personally, I'm going to skip over to the next one. If you buy stocks, like if you just buy stocks outright, then this doesn't apply to you because you can just go ahead and based off of what you see, once we get over to the chart, we can chart it and see and see our entry and exit, excuse me. So next, let's see FRX. I'm pretty sure just with their price point, I'm pretty sure that they don't have options chain. Let's go down to Supernus. See, and this is my issue with Supernus here. They only have 500,000 share volume. We want to be upwards of 1 million, okay? That'll give us a good idea, a good indicator of, all right, it's liquid enough to get in and get out, which is all we're worried about right now because trading is meant to generate income. All right, investing is long term. So that's a buy and hold strategy where trading is more of a make some quick profit type of strategy. So let's see. And it's not always going to be something on a list that you can find. Let's try and see if MGNI has an options chain. And it looks like they do. They basically only have weekly options from what it looks like here. And that's not an issue. That's not an issue either because it actually gives us an opportunity to more so swing it. We can still get in for and scalp it, but we might not get the bump from implied volatility like we would want. So next, what I'll do is come over here to Trading View, which is the platform that I like to use to chart. What was that? MGNI to chart my potential plays. So as we can see here, move myself from that corner. As we can see here, they gapped up overnight, which is not uncommon. They then began to trade sideways, and then you'll see initially here, and this is why a lot of my mentor told me to wait 15 minutes to see what happens first, because if we would have got in just based off of the gap that we saw overnight, we would have hopped in at the market at 31.62. Say we got in as soon as the market opened, 31.62. We would have lost a good bit of money, especially on the options contract, especially if we had a very little expiration time, so the theta is already working against us. We're going to lose money very quickly. So if you would have given 5, 10, 15 minutes here, you would have let this candle play out, then come down here and let this candle do its thing. When you see those are two bullish candles back to back, and then we got a little engulfing type candle here. But you would have had an opportunity to decide your entry point based off of this candle here. All right, this red candle here. More than likely, in a perfect world, we would have got in right above the high of that candle, as we see that it's coming back, and we would try to scalp it that way. As we would see, like right now, we don't know if it's going to work out because it's still, shooting sideways. And before I would actually get into this entry, I'd come over to something like Yahoo Finance, type in that same ticker, MGNI, MGNI. There we go. And the reason we come over here is that we just want to see what news came out about this. What is supporting this? What's supporting this move? Let me see. That's not much news on this. All right, there we go. So not much news in the last few days other than Insider Monkey about 8 days ago. Looks like at Choice Equities Capital Management. Okay, just sorry about that, guys. Probably just gonna edit this part out because it does not want to let me be great. But basically, long story short, is we like to use Yahoo Finance to come and confirm whatever decisions we make. Long term, we still know at least what is fueling the move. Sometimes it be but I think we'll be able to like we are scalping and not going long term. So if I was going long term, I would look here at the fundamentals of the company, and they don't have their PE ratio. They don't have their trailing or their earnings per share. So personally, I'd probably hold off on this one just because there's just not enough information. We do have bullish patterns detected, which is what we just saw. The MACD, which is a divergence, it's just kind of shows you how the moving average is diverging from the norm, so to speak. And as we see, if we would have got in above the close of this bearish candle, we would have stayed to make a little bit of money as it's going. I feel like if it can get over this 20-day EMA, exponential moving average, then we have an opportunity to run back up to 32, which would be a nice little percentage bump from $30, and maybe we probably would have got in around 30. That would give us a little bit of room. And once again, when we're scalping, we'll look to basically leverage the amount of contracts we buy. So we can buy 4 contracts which controls 400 shares, and it'll give us an actual exposure to the move of the underlying. So we'll actually get to see our profit grow and our losses a little quicker based off of the leverage, based off of the fact that we're buying more contracts. So you guys leave comments, let me know. I hope that was a little bit of an insight into how you can at least begin to find your own plays, like daily plays, swing plays. Now, me personally, I have what I call my golden stock list, where I look at these stocks all day, every day. But if I am looking for an opportunity to get in and do some scalping, this is the first place that I come. So appreciate you guys for being here today. Thank you. And remember to focus on the mission.